My name is Noah, a working professional who does system-related work from home. Currently, I'm dating Daphne, whom I met through a friend's introduction, and we're now living together. Perhaps because she works in the accounting department of another company, she's quite particular about saving money. However, I'm drawn to her thoroughness and kind personality, which has brought us to this point. It's almost been 2 years since we started living together, so I thought it might be a good time. Daphne, will you marry me?
Yes.
Really? You really marry me?
Yes. I thought it would still be a while, so I'm really happy.
I hope we can build a bright, happy home together.
Right. I think we can definitely become a fun family if I'm with Noah.
I took a leap and proposed to Daphne. She was more delighted than I had imagined, which strangely made me happy. Well, having gotten engaged under such circumstances, we went to Daphne's parents' house to announce our marriage. Then, nice to meet you. My name is Noah.
What's this now? Daphne, who is this person?
What do you mean, who is this?
He's incredibly handsome, isn't he?
Eh?
I must report this to your father at the altar.
Mom. Sorry, Noah, my mom is always like this.
Oh dear. I apologize, really.
No, not at all. I'm happy to meet you. Daphne's father passed away when she was in her second year of working. However, her mother is like two people's worth of brightness, and after the greeting, we occasionally went out for meals together. Eventually, the day for the ceremony and other preparations progressed smoothly. However, in contrast, Daphne's attitude seemed somewhat cold. She had been busy with consecutive nights of overtime recently, so I wondered if she was tired, or perhaps experiencing cold feet. At that time, I thought it best to just leave her be. However, on the eve of the wedding, suddenly,
Maybe we should just cancel the wedding.
What? The ceremony is tomorrow. Did something happen?
Not really. Just thought maybe we don't need to have a ceremony.
You've been doing a lot of overtime lately. You must be tired. If there's anything bothering you, please talk to me.
Aw, that's so annoying and bothersome. I'm going out to eat. Noah, just do whatever on your own.
As Daphne left, a call came in on the smartphone. Thinking it was a work call, I realized it was Daphne's phone she had left behind. It rang several times, but I couldn't just answer it, so I left it as it was. A little while after Daphne had left.
Hey Daphne, why aren't you answering the phone?
Timothy? How do you know where I live?
Huh? Who cares about that?
The sudden visitor was my former best friend, Timothy. I had many unpleasant memories associated with him. Back when we were still in high school. Hey Timothy, you hit on my girlfriend, didn't you?
Did I? I don't remember.
Don't mess with me. You did the same thing to another guy's girlfriend in our class before.
The girls come to me on their own.
Why do you always go after your friends' girls?
I'm just purely having fun.
I really can't understand your insensitivity anymore.
Don't be so mad.
I'm done being best friends with you. See ya. That's how I cut ties with Timothy. I was honestly surprised when Timothy, with whom I hadn't been in contact for so long, suddenly showed up at my house. But at the same time, I understood why Daphne's behavior had changed. Just as I was about to ask Timothy what was going on.
Ugh, I forgot my phone. And Timothy, why are you here?
You wouldn't answer your phone, and I happened to be nearby and saw the lights on.
Don't tell me you've been letting Timothy in our place when I'm not around.
I live here too, so it's fine, right?
You know, sometimes you go out for work in the evening, right? That was really helpful.
Don't joke around like that.
Stop it. Don't fight over me. Is it all my fault for being attractive? It's just how I was born, so it can't be helped. The problem is Noah, always lounging around at home since he works from there.
Let me, as your former best friend, say you've always been spaced out. A man looks cooler when he's out there working hard, you know?
I don't care about that. Just tell me why things ended up like this.
Basically, it's Noah's fault for being cheated on. You've been all about the wedding lately and haven't paid any attention to me. That's what's wrong.
Daphne blamed me for her infidelity. Moreover, Timothy was brazen about it.
If you had continued being best friends with me, maybe this wouldn't have happened.
Have you forgotten how you hit on my girlfriend even when we were best friends?
Noah, did Timothy steal your girl again? So lame.
Right? I was being your friend out of respect for our old times. You getting all high and mighty saying I'm done being best friends was hilarious.
Ahaha. I wish I had seen that. Oh. Noah, my phone I forgot. You better not have snooped through my line or anything that would be the lowest.
Noah seems like the type to secretly peek all the time.
I haven't done anything like that. Let's talk about now rather than the past. It's about us, so you can explain, right?
There's nothing in particular to explain. What you see is what's happening.
That's why I'm asking how you ended up in this situation.
Noah, remember last month or the month before? I forget the details. You brought Daphne to your parents' house, right? That's when I met her. I said I was Noah's best friend and we exchanged contact information.
Lying to get someone's contact info is the worst.
Someone like you working from home thinks they can get married before an elite like me? You're a century too early. Besides, stealing something important from someone else is thrilling and fun.
You've grown up to be trash. Talking to you now is just a waste of time. After saying that, Timothy and Daphne left with a snare. Watching their backs, I decided to start preparing something. A few days later, after finishing the preparations, I invited the two of them to my house for a discussion. Then,
Hello, long time no see.
Is that Lisa? Why are you here?
What's wrong? Is it inconvenient for me to be here?
Not really?
Wait, Timothy, who is this woman?
she's a childhood friend whom Timothy relentlessly hit on but never managed to win over.
What?
Today, I'm here as a lawyer to accompany you.
Lawyer!
Yes. Daphne, right? You will be responsible for paying the cancellation fees for this time. Including the honeymoon and everything, that'll be 30 million yen. And don't forget the compensation for emotional distress.
30 million. Why such an amount?
Because Daphne insisted on spending so much on the dress, wanting first class for the honeymoon. You were extremely particular about everything. That's why you're being asked to pay the full amount.
Canceling the venue on the day, the honeymoon flights on the day, and even a top-tier hotel overseas. Of course, the total comes to such a high amount with those cancellations.
Noah, do you even earn that much?
Did you think I was just messing around because I work from home?
This is why people who are too spoiled can't see their own faults.
What? Mom?
You've probably been too sheltered, thinking a fool like Timothy seemed attractive.
Dad!
Showing up 40 minutes late to a scheduled time. Quite the audacity.
Not keeping such a simple promise, you become quite something.
I wasn't told you'd call in parents.
Of course, you weren't. I didn't say anything.
Why not just be upfront instead of doing things behind the scenes?
The one sneaking around were you too.
Really, the nerve to say such things?
I had informed Daphne's mother, Timothy's father, and our mutual childhood friend who is a lawyer, Lisa, about the situation and asked them to gather. The two of them, who had not imagined such a scenario, were.
What's with this situation? This is way too underhanded.
Exactly. It's our issue, so we should have just discussed it among the three of us.
This isn't something that can be easily settled, which is why your parents and I are here. Especially since a large sum of money is involved, it's necessary to have a lawyer present to avoid any mistakes.
I wanted to have a proper discussion, which is why I asked them to come.
Fine then. I'll take responsibility by marrying Daphne. Relax, Noah.
Taking responsibility. I wonder where that baseless confidence comes from.
I can't believe you'd go after a woman who was about to get married.
Daphne, you weren't thinking either. What are you going to do now?
What do you mean? What am I going to do?
You're going to be burdened with debt, Timothy, and you didn't even know that. How carefree.
Ha! Dad!
For the compensation due to breaking off the engagement, of course.
Why?
Because you're the one who caused Noah's marriage to be called off.
So if I break up with Daphne here, that compensation gets cancelled?
Of course not. We're not here for such a carefree discussion.
But, isn't it normal for the man to pay for all the wedding expenses?
Talking nonsense after getting your engagement broken off because of cheating. If you break something, you have to compensate, right? It's the same principle. You caused a breakup, so you have to pay.
And Timothy, involved in this, will pay the compensation. What's not to understand?
Compensation is no joke.
I can't afford such a huge amount. It's enough to buy an apartment.
I'm not a monster. I'll allow for installment payments.
There you go. That's good to hear.
Daphne was billed for the high wedding expenses, and Timothy was charged with compensation for breaking off the engagement. With the presence of lawyer Lisa, the situation was clearly not something they could laugh off.
If I break up with Daphne, all of this gets settled, right? I'm breaking up with her and never seeing her again. So, Noah, you just go ahead and marry Daphne as planned, right?
It's not a matter of everything's already been canceled. Besides, I no longer have any desire to get back with Daphne, let alone marry her.
If I knew Noah was so wealthy, I wouldn't have cheated.
Living in such a grand house, it's obvious he's wealthy.
Thought it was something inherited from the parents or something like that?
It's a house I bought with my earnings. But Timothy, you're going to marry Daphne, right?
Well, that's...
At this point, I'm fine with Timothy. Better than the marriage being completely off.
They can marry if they want, but Timothy is unemployed, you know?
What? Unemployed? You're kidding, right?
It's true. He did graduate from college and got a job at a major company, but he was so useless he had to resign voluntarily, which is pretty much the same as being fired.
I'm not unemployed. I'm working right now.
What work are you doing?
Streaming on Twitcasting.
What's that? How many supporters do you have?
Well, just over 8. But I'm going to become a famous streamer from now on.
Considering that 1,000 is considered a lot and 5,000 makes you mid-tier?
Shut up with my handsome face. I'll be a major streamer with 10,000 supporters in no time.
This is hopeless.
Noah, please. I can't deal with this man. Let's think about marriage again.
No way. Now that I think about it, you were only fussy about expenses because you wanted to spend on the wedding. You weren't actually responsible. I get that now.
I'll be a proper wife from now on.
Despite saying she would marry Timothy, Daphne sought reconciliation with Noah upon learning Timothy was unemployed. Naturally, Noah refused, as he had no lingering feelings for Daphne. Witnessing Daphne's attempts at reconciliation, Timothy reacted.
Hey, Daphne. First, you say you'll marry me, then you want to get back with Noah. Why can't you be clear? It's disrespectful to me.
What are you talking about? Marrying an unemployed man with practically no supporters is impossible. Forget being poor or rich, not working at all is unthinkable.
I never said I was working.
Normally, people assume that. Don't be ridiculous. Because of you, I lost a chance with a wealthy man.
Enough already. Stop saying such foolish things. If you want money that badly, go earn it yourself with hard work. What are you thinking?
Now I'm getting scolded because of you.
Stop spouting nonsense.
Timothy, don't bother coming back home.
Then where am I supposed to live?
Find a cardboard under a bridge and wrap yourself with newspapers for all I care.
You're not welcome back at our house either.
We just broke off the engagement. We didn't break up.
Leave right now.
Why?
Who would want to continue living with someone like you?
We don't have time to waste here. You should be looking for a job and a place to live. Hurry up, or you might actually end up living in a cardboard box.
And you'll still have to pay the cancellation fees and compensation, remember that. Facing certain eviction from their homes and cornered by us, the two responded.
It was all my fault. So Noah, can we start over? I've realized how important you are to me.
Good that you've realized. But reconciliation is impossible even in another life.
Don't be so cold.
Hey, Noah. Daphne's reflecting on her actions, so forgive her, will you?
What? Planning to get back together with her and then live off her allowance.
Don't say unnecessary things.
That lawyer is just making things up.
Yet you seem pretty desperate.
That's it. My patience has run out. We're disowning you.
I'm disowning you two. I'll make sure the relatives don't help you either.
Disowned. Wait. Noah, I apologize for everything in the past. Forgive me.
Me too. From now on, I'll devote myself solely to Noah. So, let's forget about this incident and marry me.
Stop embarrassing yourself.
Take responsibility for your own actions.
I'll send you the exact amount you owe later. Be prepared, okay?
I'll dispose of Daphne's stuff somehow. We'll never meet again. Bye. Despite their pleas, both Daphne and Timothy were taken away by their parents. Thanks to Lisa's formal proceedings, I was able to claim various expenses and compensation. Timothy, undeterred even after being kicked out of his home, continued streaming day and night, but his follower count showed no signs of increasing. Meanwhile, Daphne, having already submitted her resignation in anticipation of marriage, was unable to retract it and proceeded with her resignation as planned. With some savings, she rented an apartment where Timothy eventually moved in as well. Faced with high cancellation fees and compensation, the two started working part-time jobs. However, they struggled to cover their living expenses and eventually incurred debt. Their life became increasingly miserable as their debt grew. As for me,
It looks like the payments are being made on time every month. I'm so good.
really, this time I owe it all to you, Lisa. Thanks a lot.
What are you saying? It's natural to help a childhood friend in trouble. But I bet Timothy and that woman are full of regrets by now. How do you feel?
I feel incredibly relieved. It's like my place suddenly got brighter.
You'll find someone wonderful again, Noah.
You should find a boyfriend too, Lisa.
Mind your own business. Since you're treating today, I'm going to eat a lot.
After the formal procedures, I went to apologize to Daphne's mother and Timothy's father. Both apologized repeatedly and seemed genuinely remorseful. However, we parted on good terms, which felt like a proper closure. When I mentioned wanting to thank Lisa, she simply suggested I treat her to a meal. During the meal, we reminisced about sharing lunches together until high school graduation, invoking a sense of nostalgia. Feeling relieved that everything had settled, I realized all of this was thanks to Lisa. Reflecting on it, Lisa had always been there to help me. Perhaps now it was my turn to support her. With this curious thought, I decided to enjoy the moment.
If you enjoyed this video, we'd be thrilled if you subscribed to our channel. Subscribing means you'll receive notifications for new videos, keeping you in the loop with all our latest content. Your support is vital to our growth. Let's enjoy and grow together.